Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about anime again. And the last time I spoke about anime, I was talking about how to be an anime fan in 2025. And really, the video is more of a diss track. It's more of a diss against anime, talking about what anime has become. You know, growing up, anime wasn't mainstream. Anime was strictly for the nerdy kids, outcasts, people who were not mainstream, were not in the cool group. And I noticed that because anime has become mainstream, you start to have a lot of different voices, different ideas coming in. Like I saw an anime clip on Twitter recently, and it was something about feminism. Like I think the character, the main guy was standing. He seems kind of like Hagure Yusha, Aesthetica. And then she was going to hit him, and he defended himself, and he struck her back. And she kept trying, and he kept hitting her, defending himself, saying it was self-defense. And then some other character says, "What? Why are you hitting her? Don't you believe in feminism? What is this, the 1930s?" All in Japanese, all in Japanese. So I noticed that because anime has become mainstream, all these ideas are jumping in: feminism, race issues. There's an anime or a manga recently about a girl being half black in Japan and all the quote unquote struggles that come with that. But I realized, because now if somebody asks me if I watch anime, I tell them no. I tell them, if they're cool enough, I tell them I'm retired. I tell them I used to watch anime and I don't anymore. And it's true, because I remember growing up watching Bleach, reading Bleach, and I said growing up, but I was really about 16 when Bleach kind of caught my attention, 16, 17, 16, 17. But I remember saying to myself, I don't want to be reading Bleach or watching Bleach when I have children. That was like my thing, because A, I'd watched Bleach, read Bleach, and Bleach is the best anime that has ever been made. So, what anime can surpass Bleach? None has since that time. So, if I've read the best and I've watched the best and I love the best, I don't believe that I need to keep watching it to get something that is better. I don't believe that there's anything better, and I don't think there will ever be. I stopped watching anime when Bleach ended. That was 2012. I remember it was March 4th or March 6th, I can't remember. And when the anime stopped airing, I found it very difficult to watch anime. So, I did my best. I watched High School of the Dead. I watched High School DD, DD New as well. I watched Kill La Kill. That was quite good. But even at the time, 2012, what was it? Attack on Titan had just come out, and it was the rage back then. Even before like non-anime people started hearing about it, I was there. I was there when Attack on Titan was just a new anime, and I was there as it started to grow in influence. And the first year wasn't really the biggest. It was just over time that even people I know personally who don't watch anime started talking about Attack on Titan. And truly, Attack on Titan has to be credited with bringing anime into the mainstream. That has to be said. Attack on Titan is truly that moment where anime crossed over into the mainstream. The funny thing is, one undertone from that video that I made is that um, anime being mainstream right now means that it has been adopted by black people, like anime being cool. So I foresee a future where, because of black people will take credit for making anime mainstream and making anime cool. You see all the skits, RDC does skits of, Akatsuki and One Piece and Naruto stuff. And, even YouTube rappers are now making anime rap songs, like DZ8, whom I love. I love his Aizen song, at least one of them. And there'll be a point where, like the AI black Japanese stuff, they'll be like, okay, black people invented anime because Yasuke, while he was in servitude in Japan, was drawing some things and drawing some women, and then some Japanese feudal lord or some Japanese shogun saw it and he took it for himself, and then the first person who drew anime got inspiration from those drawings. You will see that sometime in the next 5 years, trust me. I think one of the black people who can also claim that they took anime mainstream would be Easy. Easy being Israel Adesanya because he calls himself style bender. So and that's not anime. That is Avatar, Last Airbender. But for many of people from his country and places like that, that is the show that kind of cooks them into anime. So from Avatar Last Airbender, you got into Naruto. Then you got into One Piece. Then you got into the other ones because of the elements and stuff like that. Dragon Ball used to air, but right after the intro music, it switches to Johnny Bravo. Everybody from his country would know that. Anyway, I say all this to say that I cannot publicly, proudly claim anime anymore because um, I don't know what it means. I don't, everyone is there, and it was always a niche. It was always a a secluded community, and we had rules, we had understandings, we had cultures and customs. But now it's mainstream. It belongs to everybody. So you could have all these mainstream ideas like feminism and racial equality in the show, in the shows that come out. So it's not for me anymore. Animes, it's not it's not for me anymore because everyone has embraced it, and I see lots of things. Like for example, one major culture shift that I can talk about very boldly and personally is the culture of downloading anime as against streaming anime. When we were growing up, we don't stream. There was nothing like streaming. There was no Crunchyroll. There was none of this stuff. So your job as an anime watcher or as an anime person was to have your computer filled with anime. Then you get hard drives. When you go, if you go out and you meet somebody and you're like, oh, you watch this anime, I have this anime, do you have this anime? Oh, I have that anime. You guys connect your hard drives and your computers and you share anime like that. Personally, but then I remember when Crunchyroll came out and all these other streaming services and like, oh, you don't have to download anime anymore. I mean, I learned how to use torrents because of anime, and not just torrents, but direct download sites like Mega Upload, Rapid Share, shout out, all those guys. Of course, I, I'm a proud owner of maybe around 6 terabytes of anime, and it wouldn't have been possible with just pure torrents. Even though torrents would get you some, to get you some anime that you may never have seen, but the direct download websites, I paid to direct download websites to access unlimited bandwidth, multiple downloads for periods at a time. So I'm very proud of my collection. Maybe I'll show you guys at some point. But the culture of streaming has changed what it means to be an anime fan in 2025. I didn't mention streaming in the last video I made, but you know, I say this because I need to show you guys something. Let's see, Claymore. I don't even care. I don't care what this means because yeah. So Disney is now in charge of anime. Disney, I didn't know this. Disney is now in charge of anime. You're cooked. If Disney is in charge of anime, you are fucked. Like anime doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't. It does not. So this is what happened. Claymore was removed from Crunchyroll, and on Twitter the consensus was if Claymore is no longer on Crunchyroll, you can't watch Claymore anymore. But for people like me, it's not a question. I have Claymore. I've had Claymore for 10 years, and obviously I know the website I can go to download high quality versions. But most people whom I meet today don't have hard drives. They all stream their anime, and it's like you're a peasant, you're a consumer, you watch ads. You have to skip ads. You watch your anime on Netflix. You pay money to Netflix to watch your favorite anime. You watch what Castlevania, Record of Ragnarok. So I find it strange to see people who like watch their animes on Netflix. So there's something so strange and corporate about it, because back then what we understood was Datebayo and all those other guys. Yeah, Datebayo, all those torrent sites. Those were our people. These are our niggas. But now everyone is like, oh, we watch it on Crunchyroll, we watch it on the streaming service. We pay $10 a month to stream as many anime as you want. It's like, no, It was always about ownership. Ownership meant that you you are putting the anime on your system or on a hard drive. It forms part of you. It's part of your life. So it's like my Bleach folder, the anime, the movies, the Sealed Sword Frenzy is over 40 gigabytes on my computer, maybe 50. That's the original Bleach, not the new season. And in fact, as many hard drives as I had, I always made a backup of my Bleach on there, on each new one. No, not my soul, but it's part of my life. So, so the idea of just saying, "Nah, I'll just stream it and watch it and not take possession of it, not have that physical connection with your anime," I found it very strange, and I found that it became increasingly more popular for people to do that. So, because of this culture shift, because of the new state of anime, how anime is mainstream and not in a good way, or at least not in the way that I would like it. And for fuck's sake, I never wanted anime to be mainstream. I wanted anime to be my thing because it's become, what's the phrase, casted. It's become, normies watch anime. Normies watch anime because everyone has the same opinions. Everyone has the same favorite shows. Everyone, from Aisho Speed to what's her name, the one with the fat ass, Megan the Stallion to Stylebender, they all watch the same animes and they all have the same opinions. These people, black people, coincidentally, should not be in anime. They're not part of us because we remember when we were there, when we were the ones holding and making anime a part of our lives and a part of our cultures. We remember the names that we were called, and we remember not being accepted or not being considered. And now all of a sudden, black people watch anime. It's like, come on, bro. I'm no longer to be considered an anime person. I've retired for a very long time, but my retirement is contingent. I mean, it's real. It's just a partial retirement, but it's contingent upon these things. There are about one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe seven things that I've listed. And the first one, and the most important one to me personally, is what you've been seeing on your screen for the past few minutes: a good final season of Bleach. That's the Thousand Year Blood War. And people would ask, what do you mean by a good final season? I have not liked the Thousand Year Blood War. I haven't liked it at all. And because most of the discussion is online, and because the communities are so like on Twitter, and Twitter is probably the best anime platform, but everyone there's a hive mind. You just have to have the same opinions as everybody else. But I said it from the first season of Thousand Year Blood War that one, they're rushing it, and they're cutting out so much, and I said it's not delivering a good product for me because I waited 10 years. Why are you rushing it? The manga is ended, so how come you're cutting stuff out? You know why? Because, and I mean, I've discussed this already, because they are now doing the show in seasons. This was something that was unheard of in my time. Shows didn't have seasons. you you watch Naruto on Wednesday, or was it Wednesday or Thursday? One of them. I think it came out Wednesday. It aired in Japan Wednesday. Thursday, the dub or the subtitles come out. Friday, you read the manga. Like that was like our schedule for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So because of the culture shift, they now say, "Oh, Bleach is now seasons. So Thousand Year Blood War is going to be 13 episodes per season. So it's going to be 52 episodes. You know, it airs for 12 weeks, and then you have to wait another year." Bleach used to be a part of your life. It was part of your schedule. You go to school, you come back, you download Bleach, you watch it, you read the manga chapter on Friday. You check out the scans of the leaks on Thursday with all the Japanese, and then the Friday you get the translation. And it's even from those leaks that I learned to read hiragana and katakana. So the idea that you watch 13 episodes of Bleach and then you have to wait a whole year. In fact, the last season, Thousand Year Blood was season three, which is this is where it ended, and this is what I was getting to. They said, okay, it's going to be next year. It ended 2024, and they said, oh, it's going to be 2025. Oh no, 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 it's going to be 2026. Why? Why? How can you have ended the show in 2012? You have 10 years. In 2022, you come back and you're rushing. You're skipping things. Byakuya, I spoke about Sasakibe, how how he could have been a captain, and eulogized him, and that is completely gone from the anime, completely gone, giving you some kind of insight as to the kind of man Chojiro was, and it's gone because of the new culture of seasons. Let's cut out stuff that quote unquote we don't need. That's not true. We read manga and we expect the panels on our manga to come out in the anime. That is all we want. Honestly, I did not ask anybody for the extra stuff they put in here. Uriel's Volstandig, I don't like it. And you can't say that on Twitter, you'll get killed. But I do not like it. And yeah, I even saw Hashworth. I even saw Hashworth with wings. It's like that did not happen. Chipped. They chipped out the swag of many things that happened in this series, this Thousand Year Blood War. For example, they revealed the Schutzstaffel before they were actually revealed. For example, like you actually when they were having the meeting where Uri was going to join His Majesty on stage, they showed them all standing there in their special cloaks. And the question is why? Because when we read it in the manga, the reveal was so much swag. It was the reveal was just crazy. It was like, okay, yeah, these are the guys. These are the guys who were selected to join His Majesty in the final battle against the Soul King, and they just showed everyone on stage. I was just like, why? Valkyrie wasn't even wearing his cloak. They showed his full costume. So I'm terribly, as a fan of the manga, I do not like Thousand Year Blood War. I think that's the summary of what I'm trying to say. In any case, what does a good final season of Thousand Year Blood War mean? Because truly, I haven't liked it. As the biggest Bleach fan in the world, I am confident in saying to anybody that I do not like this new season. So, what does it mean? Because this is the last place where it ended. So, this is where it ended, and let's see what happens next. In any case, this kind of where it end, this kind of where it ends, and then yeah, so it's around here. So the continuation. To be fair, from here, there's a lot of off paneling. There's lots of different things that happen that are not shown. So what I would like truly is for a real proper battle between Hashwalth and Uryu. I think that's quite nice. That's quite good. And then Ichigo fights. Okay, heads off to these guys, and Chad and Ganju fight them, I guess. But this is really heading towards the final battle. Other than, let's see, maybe Kenpachi. So he still fights. Yorichi still fights in Asking. This already happened in the anime. This already happened. This all already happened. I think this happened as well. Yeah, all this happened, didn't it? Okay, Urahara's Bankai. Did he reveal that? Bro, look. The point is, I remember watching Thousand Year Blood War, and I missed a week. Like, how is that possible? I missed a week because I just didn't find myself caring that much. Because this entire thing in Thousand Year Blood War 3 is pink. The entire show is pink. It has a pink hue. So you can't even see Yorichi's real hair color. You can't see everyone's real hair, skin tone, and hair color. Everything is a shade of pink. Why? In Thousand Year Blood War 2, everything was a shade of red. Why? In Thousand Year Blood War 1, in Huecomundo, okay, fine. Huecomundo is understandable because that's Huecomundo. And then I mean, the quality of the shading in the first 6 episodes was very good. After Yamamoto died, and I think the episode that yeah, and Kenpachi against Unohana shading was very good. When they come out, or when Ichigo is about to be taken to the Soul King Palace, there was a lot of color, but the shading was so poor. So there's an inconsistency in the shading, inconsistency in the quality of the art, and inconsistency in the quality of the animation. And it just seemed like People are wowed by 3D particle effects from and I just want good old fashioned Abe Noriki animation. Just keep it cool, keep it simple, keep it consistent. We don't need to do too much. So this is Urahara's Bankai. We don't know what happened here. So clearly there's a lot of gaps that need to be filled in terms of the battle. So I mean there's all these battles. Kenpachi is back, so I think that's going to be an interesting fight to see how. I mean, Kubo was able to cheat by using perspective, but I mean the size of Gerard against the size of Kenpachi is going to be very very difficult for the animators to pull off. That should be interesting to see. I just want to see something that is good. That is my expectation. So I mean, this is supposed to be our anime in general, but I mean I've spent 20 minutes on Bleach because Bleach is closest to my heart, but that's fine. So that said, I hope it comes out well. 2026, that's fine. Let's see what happens. It's kind of like it's kind of the final year because after that comes out, what am I looking forward to? Well, what I'm looking forward to, since they mentioned that there is no more Claymore, is let's see, of course, a faithfully remade Claymore. Because I mean, well, I can't tell anyone what this is. Spoiler alert. This is a serious spoiler because this frame is not in the anime that came out 7 years ago. I'm so sorry, 2007. But this is towards the end. Let's just say that. I won't say more than that. So now that I mean, Claymore has made headlines for being taken off Crunchyroll, but to me, that's not the headline you should be making. The headline that Claymore should be making in 2026 is for a graceful, gracious anime studio to pick up Claymore and make it again. The ending of the anime before was changed to just make it 26 episodes because that is how we did things back then. An anime comes out, 26 episodes, we move on, or we don't. Or it could be 50 episodes or 52, we move on. But now that Claymore is finished and it has been finished for a while, we have all the chapters, we have all the bonus chapters. If you remember the bonus chapters, Eastleigh of the North fighting a lot of like zombie eaters. The death of Eastleigh was a really, really touching chapter that I mean you have to read. Then the black clad claymores. Come on, man. Bring all these things back, reintroduce the fan base, reintroduce anime watchers what manga really means. This is peak. Claymore is peak manga. As in, this was Claymore was at the time. Claymore is a representation of a different time of manga. A very, very different time to now. And honestly, if they can find a way to bring the show back for boomers like me to enjoy with crisp, new, reasonable animation, nothing too fancy, just keep it good, keep it simple, but faithfully recreate the entire show in one string. If it's going to take 100 episodes, air it on TV 100 episodes. I don't believe, and I will never believe in, an anime comes out today and then the next season, you have 13 episodes of season one today, the next season comes out 3 years later, season two, you get a trailer. Leave me alone. Animate your shows. If it's 100 episodes, give us 100 weeks. 100 straight weeks, let's be part of the action. I don't like having to wait in between seasons. What seasons? It's so strange. What was the gap between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden? Naruto was 220 episodes, and we didn't even know until Shippuden that there was something wrong. And Shippuden itself was another 700 episodes, 700 straight episodes. There was no seasons. The fuck? Anyway, so Claymore, bring back Claymore, animate it from the beginning to the end with all the bonus stuff. I will be very, very pleased, and I will probably be proud to call myself an anime fan if that is what is happening. Don't make it into seasons, just do it like that. Next, a faithfully remade Seikon no Qwaser. Now, as I said, anime manga they were not mainstream ideas. They were not um they've always been niche. right? But even among the niche of what anime was generally, a manga, there were shows like Seikon or Qwaser which were considered niche even by anime standards or manga standards. Probably because of the core mechanics of gaining power in the show, which is um, basically sucking their tits. But this show, this manga called Seikon no Qwaser, had some of the deepest themes, some of the most fantastic ideas of the elements, because the Quasars use elements, and you can have someone who uses iron, and of course the main character uses iron, so there's a lot of iron in your blood, so he uses blood. Get it? There's oxygen quasars, which are called who are atomics because of the fact that there's so much oxygen in the atmosphere. Then you have hydrogen. You have hydrogen quasar who, she can split the atoms because basically a quasar has full control of the element. So you could have there's instances where you had alloys of titanium and copper, for example, iron, titanium, copper, because each quasar had control of a particular element. And then the main bad guy, he's a gold quasar. Everyone knows that. That's not spoilers. The main bad guy is a gold quasar, and gold has specific and fantastic abilities that most people don't know about. Then you have the sodium quasar, different. So, but surrounding all this is the hunt for secret treasures called ancient circuits or high ancient circuits, which are secrets and embodiments of miracles that the churches, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church, have kept hidden for centuries. So, I mean, with all this stuff going on, sucking tits, controlling elements, you have the overarching politics of the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Western Roman Catholic Church, and those kinds of interplay between them. And then the show has the climax is a little bit abrupt, but the lead up to it is fantastic. And you just don't have manga that are that deep, as I said, despite the fan service stuff. And since when did fan service become the taboo thing? I mean, so even within the anime community, you have people who turn up their nose at fan service. It's like, why are you here then? Why are you here? There's no show, there is no Japanese anime or manga that doesn't have a character with unnecessarily large breasts. Having large breasts is fan service. It's not just panty shots and nudity here and there. If your show has a female character with large breasts, that is fan service. All right. So don't turn up your nose at fan service. That's not real. So the anime for Seikon no Quasar came out, and I mean it was uncensored, which was good, but because of the same problem again of seasons, it had just 2 seasons, and there were some non-canon episodes. We call them fillers, and so the show just kind of died out. Like it ended on a cliffhanger. So my joy, my wish would be for Quasar to come back, have it fully animated, fully done from beginning to end. Doesn't matter how many episodes, no fucking censorship, just pure. So you can see these animes. I know they're from 10, 15 years ago, but they capture that essence, that childlike essence of that little boy who learned how to draw boobs for the first time, and then he creates a story around it. Like just the it's truly a childlike wonder, because as a man, or you don't really grow past that boy you were when you were 13. Like you still find those things interesting and funny. So it's truly an appeal to my younger self to be able to see this show come back to fruition. I think I will be so 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 happy because this fight was fantastic, and if you can bring it out, I think that would be really, really cool. So one other anime that I really would like to see is based on a manga called Seigi Kenkyu Kai Serenade. It's it's yeah I so there are many of these mangas that I read that they just didn't, they're not in major publishers, so they maybe never got picked up on anime, or we didn't know about them. But panty shots here and there, everything. I mean, it's just standard. It's a really good show. It was just 2 volumes. It was just 2 volumes, but I liked what I read. I thought it was really fantastic. So Yeah, it's a little bit Yuri as well. I forgot that it was quite Yuri. But yeah, Yuri was a thing of mine back in those days for sure. But yeah, it's a really good anime. Honestly, if if I'm able to, I can get all these things done. I don't care. This was just the coolest thing. It was just imagine this in animation, bro. It's so fucking cool. Redo's Tato. Anyway, so of course, speaking of Bleach and we're supposed to talk about No Breath from Hell, but I look at No Breath from Hell and they're bringing back Ukitake. Ukitake stabs Aelaporo, and Aelaporo is talking about Yamamoto being in hell and strongest Kenpachi Unohana being in hell, and we've not heard anything since. I look forward to it, but Ichigo is basically God mode character. What kind of threat could he face? Would he have to face those people? And who's the king of hell? Who controls hell? Hell is a separate dimension. Is Yuha there? Is Byakuya's father there, for example? Uh, but I, as much as I am excited by the prospect of No Breath from Hell, I am even more excited for Burn the Witch right here. Burn the Witch is, I mean, we can all pretend it's Bleach because even Kubo himself would like to think that it's Bleach, but it's really not. It's something completely different. Yes, it's kind of the same system. You have these are the top of horns, and the top of horns are kind of like the Goat A13, and you can be, you're assigned to different places, and you hunt dragons, and dragons are, manifestations of evil emotions. But then you have merchants which are kind of elder dragons that primordial dragons, but one got destroyed quite easily. But then you have these are the names: Snow White, Red Dress, Golden Axe, Bubbles, Sugar Horse, and Band of Animals, and of course Cinderella. So these are kind of like we can call them the Espada, right? But Kubo revealed this manga one shot in 2018. He he wrote 4 chapters. There was an OVA movie animating the 4 chapters, but not the one shot. So truly, there are 5 chapters. And my problem is that he keeps saying things like, "Don't ask me about Burn the Witch, otherwise that means I won't draw it anymore." Or don't ask me about seasons. So he too bought into this new culture of seasons because he said that the first volume is kind of like a season, so it's a season one. Okay, your first volume is season one. That came out in 2020. Made a huge splash. We had a movie. We watched the movie. We enjoyed the movie, and then that was 5 years ago. We're in 2025, and we've not seen anything since. So what I would like to see in 2026 is the season two. 5 chapters, whatever it is. But I just miss the simpler days where artists sit down and draw their manga every week and move on. Like, isn't that your job as a mangaka to sit down and draw your manga every week and go on with your life? I don't get it. So what is Kubo doing right now? And I just think about it like how very casual and laid back he is. Life is very, very short. Anything can happen at any time, and then no more Burn the Witch. I just want him to understand that he has a gem here. I was, I mean, Kubo remains my favorite author, favorite mangaka. So I was very happy with everything I saw here. Reverse London. I mean, just look at this shit. I've been looking for where I can get something like this, and the fact that he puts on the mask, and then while the mask is on, he's still able to talk. What's happening? Yeah, like that. So I mean, Kubo is just the best. It's just the best at this kinds of things. So I don't understand why you would let something like this go 5 years without continuing. So even 5 years ago, he has this, but even after that, he's done No Breath from Hell. So I am wondering and struggling which one he's going to pick. For me, he should do both, publish them. If he needs money, we can give him. You know what I mean? So yes, I would like for that to happen. So outside of these are my manga and anime wish list for 2026. I have no real interest in anime and manga outside of these things that I've mentioned. But just as a bonus, I've been playing. I played Bleach: Rebirth of Souls. That's kind of what I resurrected my channel on, and I'm very grateful that the game came out. But the game for me was very short-lived because it's a 3D game. I don't believe the combos are complex enough. Yes, you see people online, but truly the system is quite what's the word? It's quite limited. And the exact concerns I had before the game came out were the ones I have still after the game has been out for what 6 months at the time of recording. A lot of the DLC is out. I mean, I like the fact that we have the DLC and the game is getting support, but truly the game did not make as much of a splash as we would like. But I don't care about that. What I do care about is the fact that the game is a 3D game, and truly you cannot a fighting game cannot be fully actualized in terms of its potential when you make it 3D. A fighting game has to be 2D. It has to be 2D and it has to be tag. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is neither. It's 3D and it's not tag. It's so strange. If Marvel, the whole Marvel, the almighty Marvel, is making a new fighting game and they made it tag, not just 3 players like the best fighting game Marvel was Capcom 3, they made it 4 players, four characters on your team. If they can do that, then you must have the humility to understand that nobody plays 3D fighting games. The only 3D fighting game that succeeded was Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and that is the best. And nobody has made a better game since. Neither is Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I'm the biggest Bleach fan in the world, but as a gamer, it's not a very 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 good game. My main problem with Bleach Rebirth of Souls really is the neutral. I spoke about this at length. The characters move very slowly, and then you literally have to touch the person for you to do a string. You have to be within striking distance to do a string. So when you press the square button, he's just there like that. So you have to gauge distance. I understand that, but it just doesn't flow. A lot of times you see each character holding the block button, like staring at each other, holding the block button to see who makes a move first, and it really just slows down the game. But in a 2D fighter, no one has that time. You can close the distance very quickly. You have assists, you have switch outs, you have counters, you have all these things that make sure that your neutral game is not boring. The neutral game in Bleach Rebirth of Souls is boring. It's stiff. The game is very stiff. The characters are floaty. You don't feel the impact of them moving across the screen. So what I would like is a properly made 2D Bleach fighting game made by somebody like 18 were the guys who made Marvel's Capcom 3 and Ultimate Marvel's Capcom, or Arc System Works. If that fails, I guess it'll be more expensive. So a game by 18 will be much better. Since Sony has taken Marvel to a new level, somebody else can take that other space to compete, I think. So I think that would be good. And truly, when you think about it, I know Bleach Soul Resonance, I think, is it out or should be coming out? But I would really like a new Soul Carnival game. Bleach Soul Carnival 3. Oof, that would be so fucking awesome. And even if you make your multiplayer fighting game like that for Soul Carnival 3, I'll take it with that particular art style. I will take it. Continue from where Soul Carnival 2 ended, get all the way to the Quincy's, include the movies like Shuren and what was the other guy, Kokuto. Yeah, why the hell not? Then, honestly, just as a way to end, I would like a Qwaser video game. Quite honestly, a Qwaser video game is something that just has to happen because I've been writing some notes trying to design it in case I meet somebody who actually has the money to make it. And truly, the only way I see it, obviously, it's going to be tag. You shouldn't. If you're making a fighting game today, make it tag. It has to be tag because, as I've said, and as I'll continue to say, it is bad economics for you to buy a game, and when you're playing, you can only use one character, and the only time you can use another character is to quit the game and go to the menu. No, If you can put at least two characters on the screen that you can use at any particular time, that is good. For Qwaser, you don't need more than two. Just get two, then you have a Maria as your assist, or something else, either a Maria or a circuit, an ancient circuit as an assist, and then you have active switch between characters. Then you have combined, you have combined specials and special attacks. So iron and copper can combine, or hydrogen and chlorine can hydrogen and chlorine can combine, hydrogen and oxygen can combine, things like that. You're giving gamers a chemistry lesson and making an awesome fan service video game at the same time. What could be better than that? On that bombshell, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I've not done one of these in a very long time. I hope I didn't go on for too long, but I will see you in the next one. What are you looking forward to? I'm almost done as an anime fan. I'm basically done. Like, I'm cooked. So I have to look for other interests. And it's been fun. It's been fun. I enjoyed my time here, but I'm out. So I'll see you guys. This might actually be the last time I talk about anime in my life. Can you believe that? It feels like it. So that being said, thank you guys so much. Subscribe, like for more. Let me know what you think of the videos. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.